voice in Coraline was none other than your sister, Dakota. So what conversations, if any, did you have with her as you were deciding to do a film with Laika?
Yeah, I remember when she was, you know, doing the voice for Coraline. I was really little, but then she did that over, I think, like an 8-year span, or maybe a little less, but it took about that time because she kept going back, and they were really, you know, perfecting the voice, and obviously it takes so long to do the puppets, and that was their first one, so and that was, she was so excited, and I went with her down to Portland and looked at all the Coraline stuff when I was really small, and I looked at all the puppets and the worlds that they created. They were all like little dollhouse, and so I remember going there and how much fun I had when I was young, and then for them to ask me to do one, and for me to go back down and look at the movie that I did and see all the little boxes, and how they have this one lady who is like special, where she knits teeny little sweaters, like, and she's just like a small little knitter, you know, for anything. I think they were knitting some scarves for like the mice in Coraline or something like that. They were like this small. She just sits there and goes like this. Like, everything is so, it's unbelievable. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life going down. It's just a whole other world.
Obviously, you've done a British accent before. Is that fun for you to do? Do you get nervous when you have to incorporate that?
Yeah, it is, especially, you know, y'all are British, so I'm not. So I wanted to make sure that it was right, but I had a dialect coach that was there, so I remember I'd be there and Tony would be like, all right, that's great, move on, and then the dialect coach would be like, nope, that word wasn't right, so then we'd have to do it again and perfect it. But it was nice to, because everything was in the voice, so I worked extra hard on the accent just because, you know, your facial expressions, nothing can mask it, because your voice is out there, and that's the only thing that everyone hears. You know, you can't look in your eyes or be distracted by something else. It's what you say.
Isaac, how are you doing? Look who's 2 seats over from you, Sir Ben Kingsley. We all had dinner last night. We were very excited to be sitting at the table, because you guys don't really get to know each other that well. You had a couple recording sessions together, but for the most part, you were on your own. So it's fun to see how, you know, all of your cast members you work. It's really great. One thing that I love is that people who follow Game of Thrones know, because your character is paralyzed, you have really just your face is all you can use in that performance. With this character of Eggs, you only had your voice. Was there a particular challenge or fun in doing that?
I mean, yeah, Brandon is kind of limited in terms of he's paralyzed, but I don't think paralysis is sort of it doesn't limit how you express yourself in any way. It's not like you've just got your voice, or your face. You've got the whole body, and you know, otherwise you know. Sorry. But yeah, I guess you, as Elle said, you haven't got the voice, you haven't got the whole face expression.
Well, one thing that's cool is I understand that you were the first person to come on to this film. So I don't know if that's one of the reasons why I feel like you and Eggs really do look alike, or if that's more of a coincidence.
It was more of a coincidence. There's an old movie, a kid movie called Kids, that had a little boy in it that I always thought had the qualities that Eggs would have. So we used him as a reference as we began to design the character. And then we saw, you know, Isaac on Game of Thrones, and we liked his voice, but it was also startling how much he resembled that kid.
All right. One thing that's fun is that, you know, a lot of the work that the three of you from the cast do is not just words, it's a lot of grunts and noises and stuff like that. We see one moment where your character, where Eggs is kind of kissing on a woman's arm and slurping her arm. Is that you doing the kiss and the slurp?
Yeah, no, I remember at the end of each session we'd do these things called Vox, vocalizations, and we'd spend the last 20 minutes of every session just screaming or shouting or jumping off.
Or licking.
What about the two of you? Did you have to do all that too? I mean, Ellie, you have a couple of ers and little wheels.
There's one time where I was about to say something, and then someone puts their hand over my mouth, and so I have to do that myself. I have to be like, and I go like that to myself, just to, you know, you have to get your body involved, even though it's just your voice. You know, you're not just standing there. You're like doing stuff, you know.
Right.
And yeah, anything else, you try to incorporate your wanting to make the best sound.